Did you know the average American spends over $18,000 a year on non-essential items? That's nearly half of what the average person spends on housing. But here's the kicker: most of these things don't even bring lasting happiness. In fact, studies show that 80% of our belongings go unused, while 20% of our spending leads to regret. So, what if you could break this cycle, save more money, and live with less stress? In this guide, I'll show you how to live frugally and embrace a minimalist lifestyle at the same time. You'll discover simple, actionable strategies to stop wasting money on things you don't need while focusing on what truly adds value to your life. From cutting clutter in your home to finding joy in experiences instead of possessions, you'll learn how to create a life that's both peaceful and financially sound. Ready to get started? Let's dive in. Chapter 1. Declutter your wallet. Mastering the art of intentional spending. One of the first steps in combining minimalism and frugality is being intentional with your spending. The idea here is to stop buying things on impulse and start thinking about the real value behind every purchase. According to a study by the American Psychological Association, 60% of people admit to making impulse purchases that they later regret. That's money wasted on things you don't need. Start by cutting out the unnecessary expenses. This could mean canceling subscriptions you rarely use or swapping expensive coffee runs for homemade brews. A simple swap like this could save you up to $1,000 per year. Imagine how much more space you could free up in your home and your bank account. Next, create a budget that focuses on needs over wants. Spend money only on what you truly need. Marie Kondo, in her book The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, talks about only keeping items that spark joy. This concept can be applied to your finances too. If something doesn't add value to your life, why pay for it? You can also embrace the one in, one out rule. Before you purchase a new item, sell or donate an old one. This keeps your space clutter-free while making you more conscious about what you buy. In fact, minimalists often report feeling less stressed when they stop filling their homes with excess. Finally, automate savings. Set up an automatic transfer each month into a savings account. This makes saving feel effortless, and it keeps you on track with your minimalist goals. Chapter 2. Quality over quantity. How to invest in timeless pieces. When it comes to both frugality and minimalism, choosing quality over quantity is key. Instead of buying 10 cheap items that will break or wear out quickly, invest in 1 or 2 things that will last longer and serve you well. Think about clothing. The average American buys 64 new pieces of clothing every year, but most of them don't even wear 50% of their wardrobe regularly. Instead, invest in high-quality staples like a well-made jacket or classic shoes. It might cost a bit more upfront, but they'll last much longer than multiple cheaper alternatives. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, the clothing industry produces nearly 20% of global wastewater and 10% of carbon emissions. When you choose quality over quantity, you're not just saving money, you're also making a positive impact on the planet. The same principle applies to furniture and household goods. Minimalists prioritize long-lasting furniture over trendy, disposable pieces. A well-crafted wooden table or solid leather sofa can last a lifetime. By buying less but investing in high-quality items, you'll end up saving money in the long run because you won't need to replace things so often. Another strategy is to shop secondhand. The market for secondhand items is growing, with thrift stores and online platforms like eBay and Poshmark becoming increasingly popular. By buying gently used items, you can get high-quality goods at a fraction of the price. You'll save money and reduce waste. Talk about a win-win. Chapter 3. Mindful eating. Minimal waste. Simple steps to frugal and healthy living. Eating mindfully is a game-changer when it comes to living both frugally and minimally. First, let's talk about the financial side. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Americans waste about 30–40% of the food they purchase each year. That's a shocking amount of money down the drain. By planning your meals, you can cut back on food waste and save significant cash. Meal prepping is a great way to start. Spend a few hours each weekend preparing meals for the week. This not only saves you money but also saves time. You'll stop the cycle of ordering takeout because you'll already have healthy meals ready to go. Additionally, consider buying in bulk for pantry staples like rice, beans, and pasta. These items are inexpensive, easy to store, and can be turned into a variety of meals. Bulk buying reduces packaging waste, which fits perfectly with a minimalist lifestyle. Try to buy fresh produce based on what's in season. Seasonal produce tends to be cheaper and fresher, plus it encourages variety in your diet. You might also want to consider starting a small garden if you have the space. Growing your own vegetables can be incredibly cost-effective, and it aligns perfectly with the minimalist philosophy of reducing reliance on external goods. Lastly, stop treating food like disposable items. Instead of buying prepackaged snacks or meals, prepare everything from scratch. Not only will it save you money, but cooking from scratch also reduces packaging waste, helping you live more sustainably. When you eat mindfully, you're not just nourishing your body. You're also nurturing your financial health and minimizing your environmental footprint. Chapter 4. The freedom of no, saying goodbye to overindulgence. One of the biggest challenges in living both frugally and minimally is learning to say no to excess. We live in a culture of overindulgence, where more is always better. But the truth is, owning more doesn't lead to happiness. In fact, research shows that people who buy fewer things often report higher levels of satisfaction. A study by the University of California found that clutter in the home leads to stress and anxiety, while a simplified space promotes feelings of calm and clarity. To embrace minimalism and frugality, start by saying no to things that don't add real value to your life. This could mean avoiding sales and promotions that tempt you to buy items you don't need. According to a survey by CouponFollow, 70% of Americans have made impulse purchases after seeing a sale, even when the item wasn't on their shopping list. You don't have to be rude or abrupt when saying no. You can practice intentional refusals by politely declining unnecessary offers. Whether it's a gift you don't need or an invitation to buy something you can't afford, saying no allows you to focus on what truly matters. As author Joshua Becker writes in The More of Less, when you let go of the things that don't matter, you free yourself to focus on what does. Another way to practice saying no is to avoid overcommitting to social activities that drain your energy or finances. Instead, choose experiences that align with your minimalist values, like spending time outdoors or enjoying a simple meal at home. By learning to say no, you'll create more space, both physically and mentally, for the things that truly enhance your life. Chapter 5. The Tiny Home Dream. Minimalist living without breaking the bank. Living in a smaller space is one of the most effective ways to live frugally and minimalist. Tiny homes are an excellent example of how living with less can lead to more freedom and financial flexibility. According to the Tiny Home Industry Association, the average cost of a tiny home is $30,000 to $60,000, which is a fraction of the price of a traditional home. Not only do tiny homes save money, but they also encourage a simpler, clutter-free lifestyle. For many people, the idea of downsizing can feel intimidating, but it's about more than just reducing the size of your living space. It's about prioritizing quality of life over quantity. Living in a tiny home means spending less on utilities, mortgage payments, and maintenance. In fact, tiny homeowners report saving an average of $10,000 a year compared to traditional homeowners. If you're not ready to commit to a tiny house, consider renting a smaller apartment or even adopting a minimalist style of living in your current home. The idea is to declutter your space, removing anything that doesn't serve a practical purpose or bring you joy. By scaling down your possessions, you'll be surprised at how much more relaxed and organized your space feels. It's also important to rethink how you use your space. Multifunctional furniture, such as fold-out tables or convertible sofas, is a great way to make the most of smaller spaces. These clever designs allow you to create more usable living space without the need to own more stuff. Living smaller is not about sacrificing comfort, it's about embracing a lifestyle that is focused on quality and sustainability. The tiny home trend is growing, and for good reason. It offers financial freedom, reduced environmental impact, and a minimalist lifestyle that's both practical and fulfilling. Chapter 6. Freeing yourself from possessions. The power of experiences over stuff. One of the core principles of minimalism is focusing on experiences instead of material possessions. This shift in mindset allows you to enjoy life without the constant need to acquire new things. Research by the Journal of Consumer Research shows that people are generally happier when they invest in experiences rather than things. The memories we create from experiences, like traveling, spending time with loved ones, or learning new skills, are far more fulfilling than the temporary pleasure of a new purchase. By prioritizing experiences, you naturally reduce your consumption of physical goods. For example, instead of spending money on the latest gadgets, invest in a trip to a new city or a weekend retreat to recharge your batteries. Traveling doesn't always have to be expensive. There are plenty of budget-friendly ways to explore new places, from road trips to camping in nature. You can also create memories by participating in local activities, like attending free events, volunteering, or exploring local parks. These experiences don't require spending a lot of money, and they provide lasting fulfillment. Furthermore, experiences help you focus on the present moment, which is essential to both frugality and minimalism. When you are fully engaged in an experience, you are not thinking about what you need to buy next. This sense of contentment reduces the desire for more possessions and helps you appreciate what you already have. One great way to implement this strategy is by creating a bucket list of experiences you want to have, rather than things you want to buy. It could include simple activities like watching a sunrise, learning how to cook, or spending a day in nature. By shifting your focus to experiences, you begin to value moments over material items, which is the essence of minimalism. In the words of the famous author and minimalist, Greg McKeown, remember that the most precious thing you have is your time. Spend it wisely. Experiences create memories that last a lifetime, while things lose their value over time. If you found these strategies helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more tips on living a simpler, more fulfilling life. Embrace these changes, and you'll soon experience the true freedom that comes with living frugally and minimally. Stay tuned for more insights on how to live with less and enjoy more.